All right, this video is a supplement to the video Murray over at helleoutdoors.com put together to show how the Hele Box fits in an INEOS Grenadier. In my setup, as compared to Murray, I actually took out the base of the seat so that I could fold the seat flat. That comes out with just a couple of screws, and that allows me to have a nice low profile with the bed, only about 2 inches above the seat back. It will actually bop down one more click. You can see I've actually got one more click. I could go lower, but I like this height because at this height, I'm able to get the bag for the Hele Box underneath. I actually have a second solo that I plan to put next to it here when I'm not rocking the cooler. And so I can carry that under here at this height. So for me, this is the perfect height. But I'd like to show you what I've done to make it so that this thing can go over a few more inches. So looking under here, where we're limited is by this wheel well cover and the leg bumping into it. We cannot get this bed any further left because of that. So I've made a mod that's going to allow me to slide this bed even further over so that this leg is going to be here. All right, so my first attempt at making it so I can move this bed over was to pop this leg out, loosen that, get that leg out, and then I used this little rubber foot. That's actually for some stools that I have in my house. I'll get the measurement of this for you, but what's amazing about it is it fits perfectly in this little gap. And we can tighten it down so that it won't fall out. So now I've got a nice little rubber bumper, and immediately that's going to let us move this Hele Box over a little further. And now we've actually got it resting right here. So that was my first attempt, but I was a little worried because you actually get a little bit of deflection off of this wheel well. I don't think this is intended to support weight and probably not structural. So I wanted to do something just a little bit better. So I came up with a solution. All right, so here is that solution. These brackets are the same brackets that are on this bed already. And I actually bought a second one, so I had some extras of these brackets. I'm actually going to ask the team over at Hele Box if they can send me a couple more, because I want to make this mod to both of my beds. So you take the screws out, and now I'm going to pop this back in there. All right, so with that in place, we can just get this tightened up now. All right, and there it is. So now we have a leg that's solid right to this point, holding up the bed. I still have the bumper in place so that as it rubs on this wheel well, it's not going to damage it, but it's also not going to put a lot of pressure on that because this leg is supporting it strongly there. So with that in place, check it out. We can actually come over just a little bit more. So now here's the setup underneath the bed. We've got the little rubber nubby there. We've got the leg, got the other leg, so that midpoint is perfectly supported. And now you see the space that I've created here. Before, this was touching this cooler here. I moved it over about 3 inches, and this is going to make it so that I can get 2 Hele Box solos side by side in the back of this Grenadier. All right, here we are up at the front of the Hele Box. One thing I'll point out is that I've got the long leg on the left, and I've got one of the short legs that's been extended on the right because it comes down onto the transmission bump there. But I want to show you one quality of life improvement I've made because, as you know, this seat is pushed pretty far forward all the way to the max. And so to get that seat back at the end of every day, you've got to pop these legs off, And that gets to be a little bit annoying when you have to do both of those just to slide that front bracket set back. Let me show you my solution for that. All right, so Murray actually does show this trick in one of the Hele Box videos that I watched, but if you loosen up this bracket and the one on the other side, you can slide these legs back. I think he shows it as an option for shortening the bed, which may be the case, but I'm 6 feet tall. I don't really want to shorten it. What I realized is that bringing these back does two things for me. Number one, it opens up space here for storage, right? Instead of having a leg dropping down and bisecting that storage, I'm able to get this back. It does another thing for me. At the end of the night when I'm done sleeping and I pop this off to get this seat back into place, all I have to do now is pop off this one piece, store it right there, and now my seat can come back to where I need it. This one's not in the way. It's not behind the seat. This one is, but now I just have to remove one simple little piece. Now you might be saying this is a little less sturdy. Yeah, but this is my head end. I'm not putting a ton of weight up here in front of this bracket. I feel pretty confident that this can take the weight of my head between these two poles in the system. So those are the two mods that I've made to get this Hele Box into my Grenadier. All right, friends, I hope these tips were useful for you. I am looking forward to using this setup on a big trip I have planned this summer. Cheers.